So recreational marijuana has been unfolding in Maryland, and one of the main goals of the marijuana program was a strong push for social equity in the state, right? They want to help people adversely affected by marijuana prohibition reap the benefits of legalization. So it's pretty accepted fact, right, that the war on drugs kind of came down on some people harder than others, right? Now, throughout prohibition, cannabis use has been pretty even across the racial lines, but black and brown people are 4 times as likely to be arrested for marijuana. So the governor, Wes Moore, he decided he was going to show up to play and double down on his aggressive approach to social equity in cannabis in his state. So back in 2022, Joe Biden, he made some pretty big moves, right? He extended the presidential pardon out to thousands of people convicted, at least on a federal level, of simple marijuana possession charges, right? So that was kind of the beginning of his push for marijuana reform back then, building on a promise of no one should be in prison just for using or possessing marijuana, right? But his pardons turned out to be kind of a lame duck move, right? The pardons didn't really do much of anything for anybody. So in fact, most marijuana convictions actually happen on the state level. So he put a call out to all the state governors, hoping they would take the call to charge to his side and help him legitimize his move. So Maryland actually answered this call, and the Governor Moore, he just dropped 175,000 state-level marijuana pardons in, quote, what he said was the most sweeping state-level pardons of any state. In fact, the largest such action in our nation's history. He was patting himself on the back a little bit there, but he's also right. It's also a good time to note the difference between a pardon and an expungement from your record. So being convicted of a crime, it has a huge impact on your life, right? It's going to set up barriers to getting into education, employment, housing, getting a license. So even a misdemeanor crime like marijuana possession is going to have a pretty big effect on your life. So a pardon is a super special move that only the governor can do, right? So it's an official act of forgiveness for a crime. The idea of it is to stop the penalties for an offense in its tracks, stop them right now, which is a good thing, right? But the crime is still not removed from your record. So it stays there with a little tiny asterisk next to it that says the governor kind of lets you off with it. Now, an expungement would mean that that crime is completely removed from your record. No one would ever be able to see it, just like it was never there in the first place. So to help close that gap, Maryland, the governor of Maryland, is working on a first-of-its-kind marijuana licensing social equity lottery system, basically helping Marylanders who were most harmed by the war on drugs be the first ones to receive licenses to do business in the state. So, and on top of that, the governor is also putting together a marijuana workforce development program in order to help people criminalized by cannabis find work in the cannabis industry. It's a great idea. So, quote, what he said was helping to reduce the barriers to employment and create paths to sustainable jobs in the cannabis industry. Definitely an admirable thing there. The program will help give people access to hundreds of hours of expert instruction, both virtually and in person, giving people hands-on experience and helping them with job placement. So a lot of people are excited to see the governor succeed in his state marijuana program where so many other states have failed, saying for decades, quote, cannabis policy has been used as a cudgel, and together we can prove how cannabis policy can be used as a valuable tool to leave no one behind. A lovely idea, if I ever saw one.